Good evening. Welcome to the Meet the Candidates Night for the Gold Coast Public Library. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Rosemarie Cartagine. I am a board member of the Friends of the Library. We are sponsoring this evening, and this is our first time sponsoring. I'll be kind of moderating and just running this evening, and we'll be doing things a little bit differently this year. We're doing things a little bit more formally, so as you can see, we have our candidates up here at the table. Each candidate will read his or her statement and make any opening comments, and I had also suggested that they start with the question, what is your vision for the future of the Gold Coast Library? After that, anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, and any of the candidates will be able to respond. Before we begin, I'd like to just speak a little bit about the Friends of the Gold Coast Library. The Friends Group is an independent, non-for-profit organization. Our goal is to support the Gold Coast Public Library. We do that through advocacy and contributions to different library activities and initiatives. Friends groups are really essential for the success of any public library. One of the major functions of any Friends groups is to increase public awareness of, to focus attention on, and to enhance the use of the library. As Andrew Carnegie said, a library outranks any other one thing a community can do to benefit its people. It is a never-failing spring in the desert. So I imagine all of us are here that we would agree with that. Some of the many contributions that the Friends has made to the library include funding programs such as the Family Museum Pass program. We do the annual winter concert series, and we were instrumental this year in helping to get the lovely garden area outside the library. We kind of got that, part of getting that going thanks to our president, Rhonda Veros. Besides membership donations, the other way that we do some fundraising is with our annual book and authors luncheon. So we're having our second book and authors luncheon this year. Last year was really lovely. We're having it on Wednesday, September 26th at the Swan Club at 11 o'clock. 27th, I wrote the wrong date, 27th. This year we're featuring Allison Richmond. She's the author of The Lost Wife. And I've spoken to a number of people that have heard her speak, and everybody who has heard her speak has just had nothing but rave reviews about her. So I'm hoping that you'll consider coming to the luncheon. We have flyers over there and applications, and also applications if you're not already a Friends member to consider joining. We appreciate all the Friends members for their continued support, and we appreciate our President Rhonda Veros, who is also a founding member. If you have any questions about the Friends, then please see either one of us. We'll be happy to answer any questions. We also greatly appreciate the valuable contributions and all the work the Board of Trustees does. Thank you to all the trustees. We thank our library director, Mike Morea, for his vision and leadership in the management of the Gold Coast Public Library District. And as my mother always says, the library is our little gem. So thank you for taking care of our gem. I'd like to introduce our candidates. We have, there are 3 seats that are open, and we obviously have 4 candidates this evening. We have Ms. Janine Bernsby, Mr. Craig Hennenberger, Ms. Andrea Lopresti, and Ms. Barbara Palermo. Each one of them will be reading their introductory statements and making any other opening comments. So thank you, and we'll start in alphabetical order. So, Ms. Bernsby.
Thank you to the Friends for all you do for the library. My name is Janine Bernsby. My family and I have lived in the Glen Head community for 25 years. I have taught in the North Shore School District for the past 23 years at Glenwood Landing School and Glen Head School. Currently, I have wonderful memories of visiting my local library as a child, and I was there constantly. The passion that I have for reading led me to obtain a Bachelor of Arts degree in English Literature and a Master of Science degree in Education from Hunter College. Now I have the pleasure of working with children who see reading as a pleasurable pathway to pique curiosity and imagination. A thriving library can fulfill the need for lifelong learning that enriches the lives of children, teens, and adults of all ages. My interest in the library as a vital community resource for learning, entertainment, and socializing led me to serve as a Gold Coast Library trustee for the past 3 years. My vision for the library is about space. This is not a surprise to anyone who lives here. Our current library, one of the first issues we have is parking. We don't have adequate parking for people who would like to use the library. People who have come here to programs or have gotten very expensive tickets. The parking has been reduced over the years, so that's a really big problem that we have. The second problem that we have now is space. We are offering a lot of programs. There's a lot of interest in the programs, and we don't have room in the current library, so we rent this space, where we are today. And currently, it's costing us over $60,000 a year to rent space in this building. So I think we really could use more space. So one of my visions for the library is a space that has adequate parking and more room for programs. Right now, we can just have one program at a time in this room, but if we had more room, if we had more space, we could have more than one program at a time. For instance, tonight, there might have been a program, but we're using this space for this tonight. One of the other things that I'm really looking forward to is a bigger teen space. I think the teens, as children grow older, they seem to read less and less, and I think I'd really like to promote more reading for teens and have a teen space that's bigger and more private for them. More programs possibly, music or technology related, because right now our teen space is very small, it's not private at all, and I think they could really use a better space. I think we have a problem there's a drug problem in our community, and I think a better library space could really be important for helping teens to find something to pursue their interests. And more study space, of course. There really is not a lot of space for them in our current library to study. When they do, it's right in the middle of everybody, so it's not very private. And teens do like to be private at their age. I think that another thing, as a current member of the board, we are looking for other spaces, but we're aware that community residents are concerned about the cost of taxes, so we're trying to be very responsible in finding a space which is within our financial means, and to let the community know that we're really trying to find something that will please everybody. We're very interested in community input. Anybody who has any suggestions, of course, we're always welcome. This is my last paragraph of my biography. The library serves as a unifying center that offers resources of all kinds, including programs and classes to meet many interests. I'm grateful to work with community members, the other library trustees, and the excellent Gold Coast Library staff to continue to find ways to improve the library experience for all residents.
Thank you, Barbara. So, Mr. Craig Henneberg. Thank you.
I think she meant to say Janine. I'm Craig Henneberger, and for those of you who are baseball fans, I'm a little like Billy Martin. Remember, Steinbrenner kept firing him and then hiring him back. I started as a trustee when I filled in for somebody who had to leave, and right now I'm also filling in for somebody who had a change in jobs and had to take a leave from the board. That being said, I've been a trustee since 2011. Before that, I was a member of the Glen Head Junior Baseball Board from 2001 to 2013. I was also on the roller hockey board down at Tappan Beach, and I was a member of the 10-year planning committee for the North Shore School District in 2002. My wife and I have raised 3 children here since 1992, all of whom have graduated from North Shore High School. The last thing in my bio I wanted to mention was I'm an attorney at New York Community Bank. As indicated on my bio, I view the Gold Coast Library as a vital source of information offered in various formats that should be accessible to all community members. And the primary goal as a trustee is to help guide the library in its efforts to meet the needs of all demographic groups in the community. Now, it's going to sound like I stole from Janine with regard to my vision for the library, but it is a source of information. I think we have to get away from the notion that it's just a repository for books. As many of you know, there's everything from DVDs to digital information, and that'll continue to change. And we're very fortunate to have a director who's technologically proficient, and we take advantage of that. That being said, I think a library is always going to have a place for books. We need to make the information accessible to the community members. We need to meet the needs of all the community members, which means everyone from preschoolers to seniors, and they all have different needs, and we do our best to try to meet them. As Janine mentioned, space has been a major issue. I think we have two ways that we can go about it. We can try to identify a building where we could build a new library, which is kind of like building a new home. You get to do all the things you want to do, but it may cost a fair amount of money. The other option is to continue to rent additional space or look for complementary space, and then it's kind of like a renovation. You get a little bit of what you want, but there's always compromises you have to make. So, but in any event, as was the case the last time when we proposed a new building, we would not do anything without the community's full support. We would be completely transparent as to what we would put forth before the community, and everything would get put to a vote before the board would implement anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. And Andrea Lopresti.
Hello, I'm Andrea Lopresti, and I'm new. I think I'm like the newest of everyone here. I'm an artist and a graphic designer, and as a creative person, I always look for ways to broaden my horizons, expand my thinking, and enliven new ideas. This comes not only from observing the world around me, but from learning. And I think it's through books that our learning becomes limitless. And from reading, we not only gain knowledge, but we challenge our preconceived notions, we spark our imaginations, and we escape our own reality. We can get from it whatever we want. I believe the library should be a resource for all the members of the community. We should strive to make it not just adequate, but exceed expectations. It should be equipped in all areas, not just with physical materials, but with technology, databases, and programs which serve all people's needs. There is always room for improvement, and there are always creative solutions to bring about growth and solve problems. I am so happy the library has so many programs already and is already a central part of the community, which is something I never had growing up. And I only hope to enhance that so everyone can have enriching experiences at the library. So my vision for the library actually is sort of more of that. Yes, it's the space, obviously. I mean, we tend, as having a small child, we tend to go to other libraries because there's more books. But on top of that, it's, you know, for my work and having databases and online learning and things like that is crucial. And, you know, for many professionals, having all of that online LexisNexis-esque sort of things is extremely important. And I think that, you know, any library should be at least on par with every other library in every other community on Long Island. And I also think that when I picture what I would want the library to be, for lack of a better term, I would like it to be cooler, you know, like a place that you really want to go, like almost like a community center. Like I find like there's great kids programs and there's great senior programs, but when I look at the little booklet, I don't really see anything for me, really. You know, that would be something that my friends and I would want to go and do. And just the idea of having people come and gather makes people want to read more, which makes your children want to be part of the whole thing, which makes them sort of read more. And it branches out and grows exponentially that way. So when I see the library, that's what I see, is it just organically growing for everyone to really, really enjoy it. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Andrea, and Barbara Palermo.
Well, thank you. I think everyone has pretty much